Okay.
Good evening, council. I'm going to call to order the July 27, 2022 Harpers Ferry Special Town Council meeting order. Let the record reflect that all members of the council are present with the exception of Chris Craig. Christian, would you do the obligatory reading?
Yeah, until further notice, the Corporation of Harpers Ferry governing and delivery bodies will be holding meetings and or hearings virtually via Zoom, which provides for public participation during the public comment period when applicable and when posted on the agenda. Alternatively, the public may watch meetings by YouTube or listen by telephone. These options comply with the Open Governmental Meetings Act.
Thank you, Christian. Any additions, deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Do I have a second on the motion? We have a second from Christian. Any discussion on the motion to approve the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, motion carries. Mayor's announcements, I have none. Agenda item number 1, discussion action regarding approval of FY 2023 general fund budget revision number 1. Debbie?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Town Council. Today we are reviewing for approval and submittal to the state revision 1 for fiscal year 2023. We submitted our original budget for fiscal 23 in March of 2022. Overall revision 1 adjusts our carry forward balances and increases our budget by $3,400. On the revenue side, the carry forward numbers in the restricted balance fund increased by $4,100 due to more than anticipated hotel motel tax receipts. Our assigned balance numbers increased due to the reassignment of the Armory Trail matching funds, which we had anticipated to be paid by June 30, but still remain uninvoiced. The assigned balance is less than anticipated due to the procurement of the new police vehicle in fiscal 22, which was planned for fiscal 23. In addition, you will see an increase to anticipated income in B&O, hotel, motel, municipal tax, and lottery based on end-of-year receipts in fiscal 22. Decreases were made in a handful of income areas, again based on end-of-year receipts. In the expense area, funds to contract for a comprehensive plan update, public works administrator, parking attendant, and Armory Trail matching funds were added. Funds to be expended for arts and humanities qualifying expenses were also increased to match the hotel motel tax increase. Expenditures were reduced in public safety due to the vehicle purchase in fiscal 22 and also the complement reserve. The June 30 numbers that you receive are not, if you see on the chart, are not final. We are still working with them, checking them, make sure we haven't missed anything of the accruals, but they are certainly accurate enough for budget purposes. Any questions on what you have before you?
Move to accept the fiscal year 2023 general fund budget revision number 1 as presented.
Second on the motion. Second from Christian, discussion on the motion.
I just wanted to say the Budget and Finance Committee did review this at length on Monday, on the 25th, and we're good with it.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve revision number 1?
Oh, yeah, roll call, that's right.
Do that.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin?
Christian Petricone,
Yes. Aye.
John Dickinson,
Yes.
Paul Gray,
Yes.
and I vote yes, Mayor.
Aye. Thank you. Number 2, discussion action regarding advertising for public works administrator position. Who's got that?
Well, I sent out the we had a version sent out that Pat Moore sent out, and then we did an amended version on Monday, and I sent that out today. Did everybody get that?
Yes.
Yep. Look good.
So, do you, let me bring it up here. Okay, so we have a small range for that, in dollars per hour. We tried to give the general what the greatest part of the work would be, especially the initial part of the work would be. We mentioned that the job might develop into a full-time position, and that's what we came up with. We also thought about. I mean, I guess there's 2 parts of this. Is there any comment or discussion about the job description, about changing it at all?
The job description or the announcement?
Well, the advertisement.
I have a question. I'll go with the consensus of the group. However, let me express my opinion. I think the fourth bullet may be a strategic mistake on our part. And here's my rationale for that. I don't think there's anything wrong with mentioning that during the interview. I think there's a strategic mistake, but we put it in here on this piece of paper. There could be an expectation, and that expectation could come back and haunt us. Right now, we're only funded for 20 hours. And we don't know how long it will be before we could, possibly fund it up to 40 hours. And so we may have an employee that will continue to
Have an expectation.
exactly have expectations when I want to go full. I just think it puts an unnecessary burden on us. Other than that, I think it's a good document. But I would hope that this council would just look at that strategic issue.
I'm fine with that, then pull it off.
Yeah, in that light, it does make sense to me, but that it can be something that we can discuss in the interview.
Absolutely.
If they ask, or
If they ask, right, I mean, it could even be brought up. I mean, that's fine, but it's not in writing.
And this is another thing we went over at length in Budget and Finance. The concern was that with the full job description, it seemed like putting the whole world on their shoulders. And since the advertisement version is much more brief, it shouldn't trigger that. And that once we're in the interview and going over the job, it can be more clear and you can mention that as a possibility.
and Deb, for sure, these benefits are in the package. I just want to make sure that's true for a part-time employee.
Health insurance, yes.
Okay. Sure.
The only other thing I'll say is that I wanted to recognize it's two strong people on this issue, Laurel and Debbie. Laurel has been the champion of this for quite a while. I know at times she probably got a little annoyed, but what we were trying to do, if we're going to do something like this, my philosophy is we're going to do it right. And we're not going to jump at it right away. And I did not want that to be interpreted as us being an obstructionist to this position. That was never the intention. My intention this whole time was to make sure that we get this done and we get it done properly and properly funded. So I do want to say to Laurel, thank you. And Debbie, I want to say thank you to you for all the time that both of you spent. Laurel from the administrator side of it, and Debbie for all of the meetings and calls that you had with Cox Holiday, assuring us that we could get
Solid creative thinking.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly. So anyway, with that said, we can move on with, is it the agreement to strike that one bullet?
I think it's fine.
All right. The chair will accept the motion.
Do you also want to remember, we did a motion on it and we had a lot more to it than
yeah, I've actually copied over that
can you
motion.
modify it just a little?
Yes.
From that point, because we had a lot more to it.
This looks fine.
Oh, no, that looks fine, but we had other,
Having to do with telling what happened.
So like
With the blood flow.
specific channels, which we could discuss before or during the actual discussion. But I'll move to post the Public Works Administrator position as amended on all town communication channels in the spirit of Jefferson, Martinsburg Journal, West Virginia Municipal League, West Virginia National Guard Employment Network, governmentjobs.com, wvrwa.org, and on indeed.com.
A second to the motion. And a second from Christian. Any discussion on that motion?
Just to note, Indeed is a free posting service. We did look at others and they're prohibitively expensive for us right now.
I want to just ask Deb, what's been your experience with how much it costs to run an ad of this size for say a week? Do you have any idea ballpark? Like in the spirit or in the journal?
I just can't tell you off the top of my head, I'm sorry.
I think Patty was more.
Patty would
persons.
know more and, I'm sorry, I just can't hear.
Well, whatever we spend, it's gonna be worthwhile. We need to get our net out there big, strong, and, because we want to find the best candidate.
How long in each of those publications, in the publications particularly, would you want to run it?
And the ones that cost money.
Yeah.
I think a week is a good amount.
2 weeks might
2
be
weeks is the
better,
minimum,
especially in the summer right now.
even 3, even the summer. It's,
It's really hard when
You
you,
got
when
any-
you don't know what it costs.
Well, we can get those details, and then
You
make some
could approve,
decisions.
you could approve up to a certain amount of money on advertising. How about that? If you cap it.
Yeah, it's no idea of scale of
I
what.
don't know what,
I mean, I would say like no more than 500 or.
see, because we don't want to be doing one of these weeny little classified ads. We want to do something bigger
Yeah,
and
it's gotta
bolder,
be attractive and-
color,
and now,
and eat,
Can it be called?
QE codes, huh?
Yeah,
Well, whatever it can do, make it pop,
I can work with Pat.
Right, this is hearing notice. Okay, and that went for 2 weeks. Oh, it was $50 in the Spirit, I think.
That's.
But your other ones, what other one did you say? Martinsburg Journal? Right, okay, so you might want to go with, the max that we can spend without other approvals is $750. So you might want to consider some benchmarks there.
It's not to be about the approval threshold, so it drops to 750.
I think you'll be able to do a lot with $750.
Yeah, well, they just gotta allow keep it, keep it within, authority.
That's not a budget, that cost from.
I mean, okay, so like when we do our budget, that has to be in twice and that's $500. And that's a pretty big document. And that's just the Spirit.
Well,
And you know what, if you do it for 2 weeks, and you'll just start getting what you need, by that time, you're gonna be back to council, you can bump it again if you feel like you wanna do it again.
And we don't need a motion for the dollar amount because that's already exists. Any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? Go ahead.
The motion was seconded, so this would have to be an amendment to the motion.
He's saying we don't need it. and-
Oh, I see.
We don't need it. We don't need
Gotcha,
it.
we don't
So
need
the
the
motion
motion. Got it. Does not require council approval to spend that much. Gotcha. Okay.
All those in favor of the motion? 5-0. Okay, good.
Let's go on this as soon as possible.
Oh, and as mentioned, budget and finance, I can help with the layout, but I'll need to know the specifications of the dimensions,
Okay,
color, like anything like that.
I can help you with that.
Great.
Next 3 items, I'm gonna request that, this council go into executive session. Based upon West Virginia Code, Chapter 6, Article 9A, open government proceedings exemptions, 6(9)(a)(4), and number 6, matters arising from the appointment, employment, retirement, promotion, transfer, demotion, disciplinary resignation, discharge, dismiss, or other compensation of public official or employees or prospective public officers or employees. Number 6, to discuss any material, the disclosure of which would constitute an unwarranted invasion of an individual's privacy. I'm requesting an executive session.
So moved.
I have a second on the motion, executive sessions, motion seconded by Christian, discussion on the motion. All those in favor of the motion?
I'll talk to you.
Okay.
All right, okay, it's 6:24 PM. We're in regular session. Wednesday, July 27th, special town council meeting. Agenda item number 3, discussion action regarding the hiring of a seasonal part-time parking attendant.
I move to hire Timothy Stanford at a rate of $15 an hour as a seasonal part-time parking attendant effective August 1st, 2022, pending submission and review of written recommendations and a basic background check.
Second on the motion. We have a second from Laurel. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Thank you. Agenda item number 4, discussion action regarding status of Waterworks account with customer. Who's got that?
I move to accept the payment for Harper's Ferry Waterworks invoice 100 as payments
In full.
I'll second it.
Second from Christian. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand. Thank you. Item number 5, discussion action regarding town council vacancy. Floor will open up, the chair will open up nominations from the floor.
I nominate Jerry Hutton to fill the remainder of the position of Jim Jenkins, sorry. Jim Jenkins.
Any other nominations from the floor? Hearing none, I'll have the recorder call roll.
Nomination for Jerry Hutton to fill the unexpired vacancy previously filled by Jim Jenkins, Christian Petroconis,
Aye.
Stormy Costanzo,
Aye.
Laurel Gray.
Aye. Any other business before the body? Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn from Christian. We have a second from Storm. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none. We are adjourned at 6:25 PM.
I can't find the stop button. My mouse is just malfunctioning.
Special edition.